Hey guys, so with this cycle, we're going to start giving you some tools to assess where you might be lacking in some mobility or lacking some positional strength for a lot of your moves. The first one is going to be the ankles, and then over the next 8 weeks, we're going to issue a series of videos giving, again, just some diagnostic tools to help you figure out where you're lacking some movement or some range of motion for all of your lifts and things like that. So like I said, the first one's the ankles. We're going to head over to the wall first, and we're going to check your dorsiflexion, which is how much or how far you can pull your foot up towards the shin. If you lie down on your back with your shoes off, feet flat against the wall, what you're going to do is try to pull one foot as far away from the wall as possible. Okay? If you can't pull your foot off the wall, that's very bad, and we're going to show you some tools later to help loosen that up. Coming off the wall about an inch is acceptable, but not ideal. What you really want to be able to do is pull that foot off the wall, or pull the toe of your foot off the wall a couple of inches while keeping that heel in place, so you've got pretty good range of motion there. Okay, that is the first one. The second one is going to be a weighted ankle mobility test. So you're going to start with one foot, the toe, big toe up against the wall, and you're just going to bring your foot back an inch. Okay? And from here, keeping your knee straight over the center of your foot, try and reach your knee forward, touching the wall, making sure that your heel stays flat on the floor. If that's good, come back another inch and reach. Come back one more time and reach. And right about there, I can't reach. My heel is starting to come up. So I'm somewhere around 3.5 inches, which is okay, but ideally you're going to be 4 or more inches able to reach that wall. And those are the 2 ankle stretches, or the 2 ankle diagnostics that we're going to use on Monday and throughout this cycle to help figure out your ankle mobility. Alright guys, so in the last video, we showed you some tools to help figure out where you're at as far as ankle mobility. Now we're going to teach you how to improve that mobility. Even if you have good ankle mobility to begin with, some of these things are going to help you maintain that and also maybe get a little bit more dynamic stability, some better positional strength out of your ankle. Okay, so the first one we're going to do, we're going to start with everybody's favorite, the lacrosse ball. We're going to do some myofascial release of the lateral anterior compartment of the shin, so right along the front here. And I'm not sure if you can see, but if you lift your leg up holding in the back of your hamstring and you start to flex your foot up, you're going to see that muscle, that tib anterior, flexing. And what you want to do is take a lacrosse ball, dig it into there. You got to get into the muscle. Just rolling a lacrosse ball around on your shin like that is not doing anything. You're just wasting your time. So put it right on that muscle, press in with as much pressure as you can stand, and start to move around in a very small circle, maybe about the size of a dime. You can also tack it in place and then start to work that ankle around, and you should feel that all the way down in the top of your foot. What you can do is start up closer to your knee and just work your way down, kind of tracing that muscle and its anterior compartment, loosening up that entire side. You can get around a little bit more laterally too into some of the muscles over there. That's the first one. The second one you're going to do, sorry I didn't shave for you guys, and you're going to take a second lacrosse ball and get underneath your calf. So we're going kind of right underneath that bone there where the large muscle of the calf joins in, and then you're going to take another one and get right on top. So you're pinching your gastrocnemius between those 2 lacrosse balls, and from here, same thing. We're going to press in with as much pressure as you can tolerate, work around a small circle the size of the dime, and then from there you can try to peel that lacrosse ball back. So I'm moving the lacrosse ball back towards the belly of the muscle, peeling those tissues apart. That's going to help loosen up the calf, and then you just move down a little bit lower, a little bit towards the foot, same thing, and repeat. All right, so that's 2 of them, anterior calf, a little calf sandwich. The last one, as far as myofascial release, is going to be your soleus. You can do this with a foam roller. Ideally you would grab a barbell and put some 5-pound plates on it just to get it off the ground a little bit. But same thing, we're going to start now down towards the heel. I'm going to cross one leg over the opposite, and then I'm going to lift myself up a little bit to really get some pressure on there, and I'll start to roll up and down. And then what you really want to do, and this is where the most important part is going to be, is rotate side to side. Okay, you can do this on your own with the leg across. Having a friend press down on the top of your leg would be even better, so you can get more pressure out of it. And like I said, you want to get deep into the muscle and then really work across those muscle fibers back and forth. Okay, you're just going to make your way all the way up a little bit at a time. If you find any areas that are especially tender or sore, spend a little bit of extra attention there. All right, so you've got 3 myofascial release exercises. After you've got those tissues warmed up a little bit, loosened up a little bit, we're going to start to increase their range of motion with some stretching, okay? The first one, we're going to take a blue band and we're going to do a soleus stretch. This is going to look similar to the hamstring stretch that we do. So we'll have you guys lie on your back with your legs straight, put that band around the ball of your foot, and then pull your foot back. Instead, we're going to think about pulling down the length of your leg. So if I just lay here with my legs straight and start to pull this band in, I immediately feel that stretch in the back of my calf. Somewhere around here, I'm a little bit tight up high. Some people might feel it down lower. But again, we're pulling straight down the length of the leg, not back towards your face to stretch the soleus. Okay, spend about 2 minutes there on each leg. And then you're going to move on to a ankle contraction, or a gap and floss. You're going to take another blue band, tied onto a rig there. That goes around the front of the ankle. I'm going to step forward, get some tension in that band. And now, keeping that, again, knee right over the middle of the foot. We don't want it tracking inside, so we're keeping the knee right over the middle of the foot, or even externally rotated. I'm going to press forward into some end range. I can externally rotate and then come back. Press forward, some rotation there. And you're just working through that end range, trying to get a little bit further each time. You want to do like maybe 10 flexions back and forth, give it a little break, and then you'll get back into it and repeat again. Trying to keep the heel down and just increase that end range of motion with that band distracting your ankle, okay? If you want a little bit of added distraction, you can take a plate, same thing, but now we're going to get the ball of the foot up onto that plate and then work into that ankle, okay? And then, let's see. All right, so we've gone over the tests, the ankle range of motion tests. We've gone over some myofascial release and a couple of stretches. The last thing we're going to look at is building stability, both static and dynamic stability in those ankles. The first way that we're going to do that is with just a pretty basic static stability drill. What you're going to do is stand with your feet together. I like to use a support just because I'm not that strong in this bottom position yet. And then with your toes and your heels together, you're going to squat all the way down as far as you can, keeping the heels down and the ball of your feet, or the balls of your feet together, and try to drive your knees out away from each other. And just holding this position is going to help build some static stability in the bottom. Eventually you want to be able to get your knees tracking forward of your toes, so forward to the outside of the toes, and you'd be able to hold this without holding on to the upright. So practicing that is going to help build that static stability, which is going to carry over to things like pistols, split jerks, other things like that. Other things you can do for dynamic stability, like I mentioned, pistols are a great exercise. So all the pistol variants that we have, practicing those. Box jumps are another great tool to help build some dynamic stability. The last thing we're going to do is use a red band. This is going to help you build some lateral stability in the ankle, but you'll take the bands and just make a single loop. That's going to go around your ankle. Okay, so I've got that band looped around the ankle there. All right, and then what you're going to do is we're going to do on both sides. I'll take the two tails of this band, come around the inside of the foot, across the arch, and then I'm going to pull up the length of my leg, creating some tension, and flex, kind of like a beauty queen saying hello with your foot. Flex to the inside, relax, just flexing that back and forth 20 times in one direction. Then we'll take it around to the other side. So now I'm on the outside of the foot. And we'll go again, across the ball of the foot. Same thing, pulling up the leg to create some tension, and you'll flex outwards. Okay? Just going through some pronation, supination, getting some lateral stability in those ankles. Focus on keeping your foot perfectly vertical at the end of your leg there and just tilting it back and forth. All right? And then after you're done all that, ideally, you would go back to your tests. You would test both of those ankle mobilities and hopefully see some improvement. That's pretty much it for the ankle mobility and the ankle stability exercises. Keep your eyes open because we're going to have a couple more of these coming out for the rest of your body in the next coming week.